Hi, I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Let's Talk Sports, the football edition. I am Big Mike, and today I'd like to talk to you about, briefly, what re-signing Jason Witten actually says. Today we're going to go over 3 points that I believe signing Jason Witten says. And if you agree, disagree, please drop me a line in the comments. But without further ado, let's get right into this. I love my Dallas Cowboys. I really do. Lord knows I love my Dallas Cowboys. But if they're going to try to pass off this re-signing as their series about making a run at the Super Bowl, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it simply because Jason Witten was on decline 2 years ago. And for any of you who don't believe that, don't want to believe it, or would like to understand why I say that, I give you this. If you're a fantasy football player, or you know a fantasy football player, you go ask them when was the last time they thought about drafting Jason Witten before round 7. In the fantasy football world, there's maybe 3 tight ends that are worthy of being drafted in the first 3 rounds. If you don't get one of them, nobody thinks about a tight end until about round 7. At the very least, round 6. Because nobody's going to think about getting a tight end until they have 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a quarterback, and maybe even a backup for one of those 3 positions before they get a tight end. If they don't get a tight end at that top echelon, which is one of those 3 that I spoke about earlier. This was very simply he failed as a broadcaster, wants to come back to the NFL, and the Cowboys, if you haven't heard by now, signed him to a 1-year deal of approximately $5 million. That's $5 million on a 1-year deal, which means that $5 million is going to count against the cap this next year. That whole $5 million. Now, in an off season where we have a ton of players that need to be paid, and we only have about $50 million of cap space, the Dallas Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, the beloved Dallas Cowboys, used 10% of that to sign a declined Jason Witten. That does not spell we're making a serious push to winning a Super Bowl. Just doesn't say it at all. The second thing it says, moving right along from that, is that nobody is getting paid this offseason. I know they keep saying we're working on contracts with everybody, but nobody's getting paid this offseason. DeMarcus Lawrence, a pass rushing defensive end in his prime. That should be their number one objective this offseason. So much so that they have franchise tagged him for the second year. So you're telling me we cannot find the money that's going to make DeMarcus Lawrence happy, but I got $5 million to waste on Jason Witten. No, sir. Does not work. Beasley, he didn't get paid. Had to go elsewhere. Now, I knew Beasley wasn't going to get paid. I mean, when you start working through the numbers and all of the people that needed contracts and that we're going to try to sign before they hit free agency or that have hit free agency, Beasley was expendable. I mean, you've got Tavon Austin right up under your hat, and you can sign him for next to Neal to play a slot position. He's still one of the fastest guys in the NFL. There's absolutely no way you say, hey, let me pay the wonderful Beasley. And I say wonderful because I know that's what they feel he is. You pay the wonderful Beasley all of the money that he's looking for. However, had you not given Jason Witten $5 million, you probably could have come up with the money to pay Beasley. We're going to brush right on past that because I don't want to keep you long on this here episode. And we're going to go to my third reason, or what this says to me, the third thing that this says to me. It says to me that the good old boy network is still firmly in place. Again, 2 years ago, Jason Witten was on decline. He spent a year in the booth. As he got older, he had a failed career in the booth. 1 year in the booth, and he says, hey, I need to come back. Who's going to give up millions of dollars in one spot to take millions of dollars in another spot, risking getting hurt? I think that really points to he didn't have anywhere else to go. I know I keep harping on this, but a man was on a decline. And I know this might even sound like I don't like Jason Witten. I love Jason Witten. Jason Witten is a member of this Dallas Cowboy family that I love so much. However, giving him this contract was a total waste of salary cap space. And it was 100% against the philosophy that we have that we have set in stone these past few years. Because declining players or players that's believed are about to hit their decline get ushered out of here. They have been for the past few years. See Dez Bryant, see DeMarcus Ware, see DeMarco Murray, who was sent out before he declined because they said, hey, running backs got a very low shelf life. We used him up. We're going to let him go. Jason Witten, on a clear decline, leaves for a year, comes back and garners $5 million. No, sir. I don't buy it. Now, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy who loves football, who keeps his eyes open and listens to everything that you're saying. And if what's going to get us to the Super Bowl is somebody that can speak in the locker room, I don't think we got to pay him $5 million for that. Make him a damn coach and pay him $800,000 like you do the rest of the coaches, and he can speak in the locker room all he wants. To give him $5 million says something altogether different. But that's just my views. Again, if you agree, disagree, hey, drop me a comment down there. You get a chance, you want to talk to me some more, hear some more of my views, like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.